What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to SeaWorld Productions. I hope you guys all had a wonderful weekend, but it's Monday. That means it's time to get back to work. We got some juicy inside scoops and details I want to talk about. Could Tom Holland be shooting Spider-Man 4 right now? It's a possibility. Blade leading the corner of the MCU Supernatural? That sounds exciting, but will it ever get off the floor? And the official tickets have gone on sale for Joker 2, you guys. So if you haven't snagged your tickets and you want to see Joker 2 opening weekend, snag them right now. I'm pretty sure opening weekend is going to be a banger for Joker because the first Joker made $1 billion at the box office. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you guys snagged your tickets for Joker 2? And are you excited about the sequel? Now let's talk about these inside scoops. This is coming from Cosmic Circus, you guys. So Marvel reportedly wants to make Blade the face of the up-and-coming Supernatural Saga. Marvel wants to heavily explore the Supernatural Saga after the events of Secret Wars, kind of leading out into the post-Multiverse Saga, which is interesting to me. Also, you guys, he's stating that Blade could possibly release after Avengers Secret Wars, and it is unlikely that a Midnight Suns project will release before then. Now, you guys, this is interesting to me. Blade will most likely release after Secret Wars. What does that let you know? That Blade is going to get delayed yet again. And you have to realize, what's the release date for Avengers Secret Wars? 2027. So that means Blade probably won't come out till 2028. Mahershala Ali was announced 5 years ago that he was going to be attached to play Blade. Now you're telling me his film won't come out until 2028? We are in 2024, you guys. That is just crazy to me. But whatever the process of that being, of getting this script to be the greatest script ever made, because if this film is going to take 8 years to make, like Black Adam, this script better be the greatest Blade script of all time. This Blade film better be the greatest MCU movie of all time. And Mahershala Ali better be extremely happy with the finished and final product of his Blade film if it doesn't release until after Avengers Secret Wars, you guys. Because if I'm being honest with you, where does Blade fit into the MCU right now? He kind of doesn't. I mean, we're leading ourselves into the massive big events of, Battle Worlds and Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. I don't see Blade in both of those films. Maybe Wesley Snipes' iteration, because we're dealing with the whole multiverse concept and we saw him in Deadpool and Wolverine. But as a character as a whole, you guys, I just don't ultimately see him appearing in these next two Avengers movies. It just wouldn't make any sense, honestly. If he hasn't been introduced in any other projects prior to these next two Avengers movies, then don't introduce him in these next two Avengers films, because there's a lot of other people who've already been introduced that have been waiting to be reintroduced, in a sequel or, a separate project. Like Shang-Chi, for instance, you guys. He's been in one project since his solo film, and that is it. And God knows when, the second film's going to come out. So I just don't see it happening at all. But Jeff Snyder is reporting that Marvel Studios has met or in discussions with a particular director to direct Blade. No idea who this director is. It's all speculation as of right now, you guys. I'm just hoping that if Blade's going to be the face of the Supernatural in the MCU moving forward, it is heavily impactful and it's important, especially after the events of the Multiverse Saga. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be, most likely dealing with the mutants and everything, but if you're going to be, heavily invested into the supernatural world and, the mutant saga, then lean into that shit. Have Blade appear in almost damn near all of the projects dealing with the supernatural. Even with Agatha All Along. Agatha All Along kind of deals with the supernatural. I mean, look at that first trailer, you guys. We saw this massive demon come out, and it literally felt reminiscent of like Evil Dead and Army Darkness. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, I can get behind that. So if we're really going to lean into the world of the supernatural and horror, then let's lean into it. Let's go full throttle. Don't try to cover it. Don't try to pettifog anything. Give me the actual supernatural and lean into the hard R stuff. Lean into the horror aspects, because that's what us fans want to see. When I see Blade, I want to see an R-rated vampire film. That's what I want to see, with some great action and some great suspense and some great character moments. I want to see all that good stuff. I mean, that's just the way I feel. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but let's see what happens with Blade, because, Daniel RBK, he reported, and I reported on a video last week that, Blade is kind of in a limbo state right now, and Marvel Studios is going to decide in the next up and coming months on what to do with the project. Because like I said, it's still slated for 2025 of November. So they haven't even started shooting. So it's most likely not going to hit that release date. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get some kind of update for Blade moving forward in the next up and coming weeks, you guys. So let's see what will happen. Now, continuing on with the Cosmic Circus reports, you guys, RDJ might not reprise his role as Doom after the MCU's Avengers Secret Wars? My God, why? I mean, it only makes sense. Why would Robert Downey Jr. play, Victor Von Doom past Avengers Secret Wars? They honestly should have just went with a whole completely different actor to lead Victor Von Doom. They should have, because his particular Victor Von Doom is not from Earth 616. It's from the Fantastic Four First Steps world. So it's a different multiverse. So I'm like, you should have just went with a different actor. I love Robert Downey Jr. I can't wait to see him return to the big screen. And honestly, I feel like the impact of seeing him as, return as Iron Man or Tony Stark in the Secret Wars and having that be a massive surprise would have been such a moment. But him returning as Doctor Doom, you guys, it's going to be it's going to be weird, because a lot of fans state, like myself, we have our concerns that Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. are one person. So whenever we see Robert Downey Jr., we think of Tony Stark, we think of Iron Man. We're not going to think of Doctor Doom, the actual menacing villain that, is so beloved in the comic books. And they have to get this character right, because he hasn't been done right in any iteration of the live action, Fantastic Four stuff. So it's extremely important that it is done right, you guys. And I have all the faith in the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige. So whatever they're cooking up, I have faith in them. I'm not going to doubt them, not one bit, because they haven't let me down. The Russo brothers haven't let me down once. Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. All bangers. They haven't let me down, you guys. So let's see what will happen. Moving on, you guys, Doctor Strange 3 is aiming to be released before Secret Wars, and it might also come out before Doomsday, but it's more likely to debut before Secret Wars. Makes all the sense in the world, because we're dealing with incursions and the whole, third eye coming out of his head and Clea coming out, and she was like, Doctor Strange, we got some incursions we got to deal with. And that's the whole premise of, battle worlding, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. So it makes sense that we could get a Doctor Strange 3 before a Secret Wars, you guys. But it kind of feels weird that we're getting sequels, kind of in between, these Avengers movies. Because it's like, well, if the events of Avengers Doomsday is happening and then we get a couple of sequels in the middle of it, it's like, well, aren't you guys dealing with everything that's happening with Doomsday? Like, unless it's taking place on a whole different universe and it's completely different, you know what I mean? So there is no continuity issues, but I'm still excited for Doctor Strange 3. Whatever they're cooking up, I don't know who's going to be directing it. I would love to see Scott Derrickson return to direct Doctor Strange 3. Sam Raimi did a wonderful job with, Multiverse of Madness, but I preferred the first Doctor Strange over the second one. I thought the first Strange was, from a storytelling aspect, it was more fulfilling to me. And seeing his whole MCU debut as, Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch was absolutely so amazing to me. I love that first Doctor Strange film. It is so good. But we'll see what will happen with Doctor Strange 3, you guys. Moving on. Spider-Man 4. There's a lot of reports that Tom Holland could secretly be filming a Spider-Man 4 film right now, which I highly doubt. Apparently, he was at Amy Pascal's office, I guess. But I'm like, I don't know how true this is. For them to be secretly shooting a Spider-Man 4 film makes no sense in the world. I'm sorry. But I know Sony has their particular release dates for their Marvel Spider-Man films. So every so years, they have to get out a Spider-Man film. And the last one was 2 years ago. And there's still no, that we know of right now, there's still no director attached to Spider-Man 4. We don't know the premise. We don't know what's happening with Spider-Man 4. It just seems very unlikely that they would be shooting a secret Spider-Man 4 film unless Tom Holland is shooting a couple of cameos for a couple of projects, like a Daredevil Born Again, which I cannot wait for, or even like a Fantastic Four First Steps. He plays like a multiverse variant of himself. That would be intriguing to me. I just doubt it's, I doubt he's secretly shooting a Spider-Man 4 film right now. It makes no sense in the world. But moving on to the next topic, you guys, Marvel is reportedly exploring a future project where Florence Pugh Yelena will team up with a possible Charlie Cox's Daredevil. Absolutely, a Black Widow and a Daredevil in a series or a film. I mean, why not? I mean, Florence Pugh has been a massive standout since Black Widow. A lot of people love her Yelena character. A lot of people cannot wait to see what she does in Thunderbolts. Sebastian Stan and the rest of the cast were really praising her performance as Yelena Belova in this Thunderbolts project. So it's really exciting that Marvel's, at least they plan to have big plans for this character, Yelena, moving forward. I mean, like I said, she's made a massive presence with her first debut of that being in Black Widow, and we got to see her appear in Hawkeye, and now she's going to be in Thunderbolts. I mean, not many characters have been introduced post-Endgame that have been in multiple projects. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy were, realistically, they were in the holiday special, they were in Thor 4, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Miss Marvel was in Miss Marvel, then, the Marvels. Yelena was in Black Widow, then she was in the Hawkeye series, and now she's going to be in Thunderbolts. So it's kind of rare that we see these characters show up in multiple projects post-Endgame, because that just seems Marvel was kind of in this limbo state where they didn't know what they were doing. They were still trying to figure everything out now that they've introduced a ton of core characters that really don't fit into the world that they're building right now, because they're building the multiverse world right now. So it's kind of confusing what's happening. So I would love to see Florence Pugh team up with Charlie Cox and a Daredevil and a Yelena project. That would be absolutely, absolutely amazing. And to close out the videos, you guys, of course, Marvel Studios is planning on having Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man interact in the MCU. Now, that's either going to be an Avengers Doomsday or an Avengers Secret Wars. We all know that that is the big conclusion. This Multiverse Saga is going to wrap up the Marvel legacy characters. So Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will no longer be moving forward after Secret Wars. It's going to be a final conclusion. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man kind of has a future, I have a feeling, with like Sony stuff. But Tobey Maguire, I feel like he will absolutely wrap up his conclusion as Spider-Man once he meets all the Marvel legacy characters, you guys. Because that's what we as fans ultimately wanted. We always wanted this. We always wanted to see Tobey Maguire interact with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I mean, that's a massive fan service moment. And what better project to do it in than Avengers, Doomsday or Secret Wars? That is going to be ginormous, you guys. Can you imagine those two together on screen finally? It would be absolutely insane. Complete fan service moment, you guys. If you thought seeing Tobey return for the first time in No Way Home was big, just wait until you see these two characters interact. That would be a banger, you guys. And you throw in a Hulk as well. Oh my God. These next two Avengers films are going to be absolutely ginormous. It's going to put Endgame to shame. Honestly, that's how I feel. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about today's topics. Let me know what you think about these inside scoops from Jeff Snyder and the Cosmic Circus. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching C-Roll Productions. Peace.